Hi, this is Phil Hinton and welcome to another video here on avforums.tv. Today we're at Air Studios in London for the Panasonic 3D TV launch. The 3D event was a unique opportunity to see everything from the filming of British songwriting legend Paul Carrack of Roxy Music, Squeeze and Mike and the Mechanics fame on three 3D camera rigs, and then seeing the results on the new 50 and 65-inch VT20 Full HD plasmas and the company's 103-inch Monster 3D Plasma. Steve Lucas explains the purpose of the launch event.
Yes, we're here for a recording by our artist Paul Carrack, and we're actually going to use his recording session in the studios here at Air to show his live performance on a 103-inch plasma display screen in 3D to an audience of invited journalists and special guests from the industry.
And the point behind this event is what, Steve?
Well, it's to launch our new 3D products into the UK market. So we have our 50-inch and our 65-inch VT20 Plasma products, and also our 3D Blu-ray player.
So Steve, with us being in this environment, is it a chance for us to see everything through the chain?
Exactly, because we are recording here with the Panasonic broadcast cameras, and we are going through the Panasonic broadcast mixer through to the Panasonic 3D display. And of course Panasonic is unique in that it offers a complete end-to-end solution. Everything from the camera side through the encoding and authoring side with our PHL laboratories, through to our Blu-ray players and HDMI cabling to our 3D display.
So Peter, what's the idea of today, and why have you let Panasonic in on your recording session?
Well, I've let them in because basically I have a new TV program called HD-music.tv, and what it's trying to do is really be at the high technology area of kind of making a great music program. We want to base it kind of at Air Studios, around Air Studios, and it's got 4 programs, one called Live on Air, which will be with an audience with all these balconies here, big stars with different kind of collaborations. Another one's called The Crossing, which will be more kind of, what can I say, new acts coming up. Another one called The Classics on Air and Live on Air. So the great thing about this is it's a collaboration really between Steve Lucas, who helped me with the Life Abbey Road programs, etc. And it's a natural progression really to make something unique, high technology, right at the cutting edge. So this is an opportunity to do something in 3D with the help of Panasonic, which maybe would have been just beyond what we could do, but it's where we want to be in the future.
Do you see 3D as being a viable medium for music?
Yeah, having seen it, it's very immersive. I mean, I think that's the word really, it is immersive. I think the cameras themselves at the present time, these great big cameras, you know, stuck together, I think that will become fairly seamless. I think when Panasonic bring on their 3D bespoke cameras, they make a huge impact, because it means you can focus and bring it in and out. So yes, I do think that it will work more. I'm very impressed with 3D. I think it's more engaging. You have to be subtle with it, but I think if you're subtle with it, it can be incredibly powerful.
Well, the challenges are quite very different to 2D. First of all, you have to think in terms of what is going to be the most effective shots, because there are certain distances and lenses all have to be worked out technically, so that what you're creating, the 3D environment within the within the experience actually makes sense. And otherwise you've got things that are all huge and out of focus in the foreground and not in focus in the background. So there's the technical thing to bear in mind. It's very different to 2D. Which really is a sort of it's a complete free-for-all 2D, because you can be shooting with with different shutter speeds. You can be shooting handheld. You can be shooting long lens, and all the different things that help to underscore the music visually. You don't really have that latitude with 3D at this point. So this is our first 3D shoot, so it's a little bit of an experiment as well. I do think it's a natural progression. I mean, I think that probably inevitably it'll be 3D without glasses, and it's the same way that sound became a natural progression from silent pictures, and colour became a natural progression from black and white. And I think that it's still in its early days, but the fact that the audience have kind of have embraced it so wholeheartedly, to the extent now that movies are being simultaneously released in 2D and 3D, shows that it's a new experience, and it's not just a gimmick. I think it's going to become, the way that we've approached it is, let's not think of this as a gimmick. Let's just think of this as an immersive experience, a new way of listening to music in home theatre, or in the ideal circumstances, which is kind of like a concert situation.
So with everyone impressed with what 3D can offer, the main focus of the day was the launch of the VT20 Plasma TVs in the UK, starting at the end of April.
Yes, we will see the launch of the 50-inch towards the end of April, and the TV will offer, of course, a frame sequential full high-definition 3D. So this means that it's an active system, which means we can deliver 1920 by 1080 progressive image to both left and right eye sequentially.
Now, there's been a lot of talk on forums like ours and on the internet and with the general public about a possible format war with 3D, because they keep hearing there's passive, and there's side by side, and there's sequential, and there's full HD. Is that the case? Can you explain it?
Well, no, there is no format war. The agreement by the Blu-ray Disc Association is that all Blu-ray discs for 3D in the future will be produced as a full HD 3D system. So all 3D Blu-ray players will have to be able to play that. In the TVs themselves, you may find some manufacturers will go for a passive system and some manufacturers for an active system. But to achieve the best picture quality, the highest resolution, then full HD 3D through an active system is the best route. And this is the route that Panasonic have chosen, because of course we have a tremendous alliance already with the Blu-ray Disc Association. We spearheaded the campaign to introduce full HD 3D for Blu-ray discs, and we want our customers to enjoy the best picture quality possible from Blu-ray on 3D.
But of course, we're not just talking about Blu-ray as a playback source. We have Sky TV, which is a half-resolution system. So how does that work on your TV?
Yep, our TV will be able to accept the side-by-side Sky broadcast system. So the TV will actually either be manually switched by the user themselves, or an automatic switching, depending on the output from the receiver box.
So what we're saying here is that it will work with Sky TV, it'll work with any 3D system, as long as the processing in the TV recognises it and is able to play it back.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. The TV will automatically reformat the 3D signal to display it as a frame sequential system.
Now, Steve, there's a distinct lack of content out there at the moment. Sky launch on the 3rd of April for the pubs and clubs, later for the consumers, but there's still no sign of any Blu-rays either. So is that going to put a dent in the launch of the 3D technology?
Well, we will bring 3D disc bundling with the introduction of our players into the market. So there will be some 3D Blu-ray content available when the products launch.